Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm teaching you how to make a delicious 4-cheese calzone that my family calls a calzone. These calzones are full of delicious cheese and wrapped in a delicious crust. We cut into them and dip them in pizza sauce. This goes great with a salad on the side. Let's talk about the ingredients that we need for this recipe. We're going to need bread flour, olive oil, some active dry yeast, ricotta cheese, mozzarella cheese, Parmesan cheese, and cheddar cheese, salt, Italian seasoning, garlic powder, garlic salt, and some water. We will also need some pizza sauce for dipping. So grab your paper, pencil, come on in and have a seat, and let's get into this recipe. Now the first thing that I'm going to do is open up my packet of active dry yeast and place that in a bowl. I have my yeast in the bowl and I'm going to add in 1 cup of lukewarm water to that. Now I'm going to let that dissolve. You want to make sure your water is not too hot, just lukewarm, because you don't want to damage your yeast. I'm going to stir that up a bit. And then I'm going to set this aside and get my flour ready. Now I'm starting out with 2.5 cups of flour and 1 teaspoon of salt in my bowl. And I'm adding in my yeast water and I'm going to stir that up. If my dough is too sticky, I can always add in more flour. Now this is going to be a little sticky. I have turned out my dough onto a floured surface. I've started to knead my dough and I'm pulling in bits of flour as I need it. Just keep turning it over, pressing in the heel of your hand. And just keep doing this for the next 5 to 10 minutes. If it starts to get sticky, add a little bit more flour. Add a little bit more flour onto my board. Now, if you don't want to do this step, you can always just buy a couple of packages of thicker crust pizza dough. But they happen to be out of that, so I had to do the old-fashioned way from scratch, which is still awesome. But if you're in a hurry, that one works great. Just follow directions on the packet. Next, I'm adding a little bit of olive oil to 2 different bowls. And I'm going to take a paper towel to coat the sides of my bowl. That way, my dough will be easy to handle and it won't stick to the sides. Now that my bowl is ready to go, I'm taking my dough and I'm going to pinch off about 8 pieces. Then I'm going to roll those into little balls. As I'm doing this, I'm also turning the dough over in the bowl to coat it with a little bit of olive oil. That way they won't stick to each other. Now remember, I coated 2 bowls with olive oil. I'm going to put 4 in one bowl and I'm going to put 4 in the other. If you decide to use the shortcut and buy the pizza dough packages, now if you need 8 servings, you'll need at least 3 packages of those. You'll still need to let them rise. You'll still pinch them off like this and put them in the bowls. Now as you can see, I've rolled them into little balls and I've placed 4 in one bowl and 4 in the other. Now I'm going to leave these in a warm place. First I'm going to cover them with plastic wrap, leave them in a warm place for about 45 to 60 minutes and then I'm going to check on them. While my dough is rising, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to mix up all the cheeses. To my bowl, I have added 2 cups of cheddar, 2 cups of mozzarella cheese, a cup of Parmesan, and I'm getting ready to add in my ricotta cheese. Now to my bowl, I'm adding in my ricotta cheese, 16 ounces. Now, if you wanted to use a lighter one, you can get skim. You can even vary the cheeses. You could use Italian blend, Romano, provolone. These would all be great. All right, I'm now going to stir this around. I have to get that regular cheese incorporated with the ricotta cheese. Just keep stirring until it's all mixed up. This will take just a little work. It'll be a little hard to stir, but that's okay. Just keep mixing until it's all incorporated. I think we've got it all mixed up. Now it's time to add in a few things. Now to this, I'm adding 1.5 tablespoons of Italian seasoning. Now you can use less or a little more if you are a fan. We are also adding a little bit of salt, not a lot. We're adding in about 1/4 teaspoon. And then we're going to mix all that up well. Once I've mixed that up, I'm going to pop that in the refrigerator and I'm going to check on my dough. Now while we're waiting on our bread dough, I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of olive oil in a bowl. This is what we're going to baste them with when they come out. We're also going to add into that 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I'm going to mix this up a little bit and let it sit. And whenever they do come out of the oven, we're going to baste them with this and sprinkle some Parmesan cheese on top. Now I'm going to set this aside and it's ready to go. Right now I'm going to oil my pans with some olive oil so my dough doesn't stick. My dough is ready to go. We are going to start by placing the dough ball on the pan and start spreading them out, almost like a little pizza. Now I'm taking a big scoop of cheese and placing that in the center. Right in the center. Now press it down. Be sure and try not to get any cheese around the part we're going to roll up. So kind of keep it in the center. Now we're going to take and fold it over. You may have to pull the cheese forward a little bit, and then we're going to pinch that up. Fold it up around the edges and pinch that forward. Make sure if you have any little tiny holes, pinch and close those up. We don't want our cheese to escape. Then I take it and I move it to the side, and then I work on the next one. Make sure to pinch up any little holes. I repeat this process till all 8 are finished and all the cheese is gone. Remember, we are making 8, so we're going to need another pan. I have preheated my oven to 450 degrees. Now these are ready to go in for 15 minutes. Since ovens vary, be sure and watch and make sure it's getting a light golden brown. Once they come out of the oven, I immediately baste them with my garlic and olive oil mixture. Once I have everything evenly coated with my olive oil mixture, I'm going to take some Parmesan cheese and I'm going to sprinkle that over the top. Here is our delicious Calzone, alongside it with some pizza dipping sauce. These smell great. The crust is crispy. It has that delicious flavor of garlic and olive oil. Inside, we have this delicious gooey cheese. The ricotta, mozzarella, cheddar, and Parmesan mixture. There's just enough Italian seasoning to make this absolutely delicious meal. I serve the dipping sauce on the side. You can pour it on your plate and just dip, cut into it, take a piece, dip it into the pizza sauce. I'm sure that this recipe is going to become one of your favorites too. Alright, if you like this recipe, leave me a comment below, especially if you give this one a try. I love to hear from you. Check out the other recipes on my channel. Stay tuned for many more delicious recipes coming soon. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to be notified when I have a new recipe to share with you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.